Off of our forecast conference this fall. I wanted to give you a quick little introduction to the facility before we bring up Phil Bond. As you go out the door, you'll find the refreshments, of course, in the foyer. And then just to the right, as you go out the door, you'll find a little short corridor. And at the end of that corridor are restrooms. And there's a little phone bank area with 8 telephones there. If you'd like to use those, you're welcome to it. And so without further ado, let me introduce to you Phil Bond, the President of TechAmerica.
Thank you, Cecil, and good morning to all of you. I want to, before I go a syllable further, say a special thank you to Cecil and Boeing. Cecil, of course, leader in this effort, but also important to me, a member of our board at TechAmerica, and one of those board members who asks the tough questions. So, Cecil, thank you very much for your continued service, your leadership, and providing the facilities here today. Well, welcome to the kickoff of what we, perhaps with some prejudice, believe is one of the most important programs that go on in town to really understand the future and direction of government spend in some of those critical areas. This is the most widely referenced analysis of federal spending and business opportunities, and that's why you're here. And as you know, it culminates in the presentation of all of the findings in the annual Vision Conference coming up in October, the 45th annual Vision Conference. And we hope you will look at the details in your packet on that and be able to join us in October for that. It's kind of exciting to look out and see this big a crowd for a lot of reasons. The more the merrier. The job is big. Given my last name Bond, I kind of like to think that these are field operatives going out to collect all kinds of intelligence. But more appropriately, probably, it is an army of partners in one of the great public-private partnerships that surrounds our federal government, working hand-in-glove to understand the direction, get the best for the taxpayer. And all of you are to be congratulated for joining that effort. Also to be congratulated would be the 2009 Vision Team. This is a volunteer-led, member company-led effort, top to bottom. And I really want to make sure that you recognize those. You'll be able to see them with their nifty yellow badges, like Cecil's there. If you get a chance, thank them for their leadership. They invest an enormous amount of time, blood, sweat, and tears into this. Could not do it without them. In fact, if you would join me for just a second, giving them a quick round of applause. Well, it perhaps goes without saying that we set out the process this year in what are really strange and unprecedented times for our economy, the government meeting challenges that were unimagined, doing things that sometimes were unimagined to respond to the very real crisis of confidence in the financial markets and elsewhere. And I think that that makes the work here important, and it makes it I think the output all the more valuable to each of you. It's also an unprecedented time for us as an association. TechAmerica as a name has only been around for about 60 days. It's the result of the merger of ourselves at what used to be ITAA, along with the American Electronics Association, AEA. Just prior to that, the Government Electronics and IT Industry, GEIA, and the Cybersecurity Industry Alliance, CSIA, all four coming together to form an association of 1,500 member companies, 16,000 affiliated companies across the United States, and dedicated to the notion that we want to work hand in glove for the best policies for technology writ large across the United States, and for the best use of technology by the government, which often, of course, I don't have to tell this audience, scales to be the next great commercial application. So this public sector and commercial sector approach to the very best technology policy, spending, and programs is critical to America's future. Indeed, we chose the name TechAmerica because we believe and are dedicated to the notion that America is synonymous with technology. In particular, starting now with the government as you get into this particular process. We believe that our companies, the 1,500 companies we have, including the likes of Boeing and others here that you'll see wearing the yellow name cards, are really driving innovation not only here, but around the world in today's economy. I mentioned us being an active partner with government because we think it catalyzes new opportunities, and part of that part of that partnership includes not only digging deep and understanding, but also helping the government think ahead. And so with that, that's the transition really to our first keynote speaker, because when you think about trying to project ahead for public policy thinkers and government leaders, one of the very first names that is going to come to mind is our first keynote speaker this morning, Dr. Andrew Krepinevich, CEO of the Center for Strategic and Budgetary Assessments. Many of you know Dr. Krepinevich, members of his staff have been interviewed by us in this process, will be again this year, and he really is one of the most innovative and prodigious thinkers and writers in defense of foreign policy space. Author, teacher, his views have influenced a whole generation. You'll find his entire bio, impressive bio, in your packets. We look forward to his remarks today because I mentioned prodigious. He has recently published a new book, 7 Deadly Scenarios, and we'll consider that sobering topic this morning. Please welcome Dr. Andrew Krepinevich.